Yeah, we'll get started. Gil, welcome to the show.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah, most welcome. The place I like to start with all of these conversations is who are you? What are you doing now? But then also, what were the steps that led you to where you are today?
So it's a very full-on question. A lot of successful failures led me to where I am today. So more than 20 successful failures in different businesses and living in 7 different countries and having 3 kids and speaking multiple languages led me to a place where I'm able to flow through networks a little bit easier than most human beings. I have studied human networks for many years. For the last 10 or so years, I've been going very, very deep into the sciences and arts behind how we connect and build communities and build relationships and build joint ventures. I've been very fortunate to have been invited to corporations and to governments and to over 1,000 different events have invited me to come and speak and share what I've learned. So every time someone asks me to teach the content, I'm in a position where I need to like get better as a student. So I've been constantly developing it's like a Japanese approach to Kaizen, like continuous improvement, um, constantly improving the mastery of human networking. The reason I keep on saying human networking because we can network with plants as humans. We can network with animals very beautifully. We can network with God and the universe in a really great way. And I've studied all of those in detail, especially plants. And it's one of the great reasons to live in Bali. I've been very fortunate to have tried different businesses, everything from juice bars and restaurants to mobile apps and software companies. I've enjoyed events business very much. So we have a production company. We've produced over 1,000 different events around the world, mostly in personal development, which it's been great to do that. Bali's been home for quite a few years now, almost 5 years now. And but I lived in Canada, Israel, England, and Russia for 10 years each. So it gives me a broad understanding of how we network as humans and the strengths and weaknesses that we mostly have in connecting.
Yeah, I'm intrigued to hear where that curiosity came from originally. Was it just something that you observed? Was it something that you observed other people struggle with? Was it something that you saw the significance of in your own journey? What led you down that that path specifically?
So by nature, I'm an introvert. I've tested that out a few times. Can't change who we are by nature, but I believe we can upgrade our program. So I've changed the algorithms of how I am as an introvert. Um, from the age of 10, I'm an immigrant. So English being my third language. So I had to go through that as a young man. That's not easy to try to make friends when you don't speak the same language or trying to meet women when you don't speak the same, you have really bad English. So I've gone through my own struggles as a teenager and then in my early 20s, like really struggling to connect into society. Because I've lived in different countries, every time I showed up in a new country, I've had to start again to make new friends and build new connections, build a new network. Because I've changed industries more than 10 times, like completely different industries, I've had to start again, like, moving from owning a bakery or a restaurant to having a mobile app and a software company. It's completely different type of people. It's who you meet with and who you talk to and conversations and language and topics and masterminds. It's just everything is complete. So I've lived many, many, many lives on this life. And because I've gone through the journey that's been super difficult, but it's really beautiful when I look at the bigger picture. Very grateful to what I've had. It's been my own journey. I now feel that giving it to others, sharing it with others, has been clearly a mission for over a decade. And it's been the more it is that I'm asked to give back and share, the more that I need to remember the codes, the lessons, the wisdom.
Yeah, and I can imagine sometimes you need to remind yourself almost because you have been through so much already, right? So, what are the biggest ones that you've seen in terms of networking specifically? I know you mentioned a lot of the time it depends on the person. So, how have you deciphered what techniques work, what haven't? And I'm intrigued to hear how that experience has been for you specifically.
There's too many to just mention a couple. I would say that people don't know how to leave networks. We don't know how to leave a company very easily. We're not really good as humans to move countries and settle very easily. That's why like digital nomads is like a thing, or backpackers is like a thing. Not everybody could be a backpacker and travel the world on their own. It's not easy. Not everybody could be a digital nomad, which is why it's kind of a trend in the world and you could learn how to be one. I think that there's a lot of health to changing networks. I would say to everybody, be curious as to what would happen if you changed your network. What would happen if you changed your industries? What would happen if you changed your friends right now? What would happen if you moved countries next month? Even if it's just for 3 months or a year, what would happen? Like, how great can life really be? Yeah, it's scary. And yeah, there's a learning curve. And yeah, there is, some bumps along the road, but greatness in life doesn't come from an easy pink road. It comes from this uncomfortable stages of growth. And for me, one, showing curiosity in what is possible when it comes to network expansion is really good. Number two, it's having a how can I help you mindset or a complementary mindset. Whenever you go into a new network or a new networking situation, seeing how you can collaborate with this human being, not business wise, but collaborating mean, let me have a drink with him. Let me spend time with this woman. Let me connect with them further. Let me just like them by default to allow them to connect with me. So the how can I help you mindset with the complementary mindset is really connected. And then learning the codes behind reconnecting. In the corporate world, we call it following up. When you send someone an email and they don't respond and you have to follow up. But in the networking world, in the friendship world, no one has ever taught us the importance of reconnecting with a human being, sending another message, even if they haven't sent you a message back. And we have some really unhealthy programs where in some situations, if you send someone a message and you see that they've read your message, but they haven't responded. Many humans are so stupid and so ignorant and so out of place where they will not send a message back. It's like, no, they saw my message. It's like my ego. They saw my message. It's their turn to send me a message back. That is an extremely unhealthy, extremely faulty, very wrong way of being. If you want to connect with someone, if you love someone, if you care about someone, if you want their business, if you want their investment, if you want their mentorship, if you want their friendship, send a few messages in a different way. Follow up, reconnect. Make an effort to really reconnect with a human being. I think that's healthy. And for some reason, humanity, we got it completely wrong as a program.
Yeah, and I think there's something very authentic about that. And I think the reason why I think we struggle a lot is because our authenticity when we were younger was perhaps shut down. So the whole act of chasing someone up and wanting to get in contact with them, I feel like there's almost the resistance is there because we think, okay, we don't want to be seen to be desperate perhaps, or perhaps they think of us a certain way. Whereas actually, if you really want to connect with that person, then making your intentions very clear is going to give you the best results because it's better to get a no than nothing at all, right?
So I think that every culture has it also different. In some cultures, people don't want to follow up because they think they're interfering, or they're being annoying, or they're potentially, pressuring someone or pushing someone. Where persistence and perseverance is always good. Following up with someone doesn't have to be sales oriented. It could be knowing that that person is not as good at that as you are. Following up with someone could just be a sign of love. I tell people if they want to follow up with me, just send me one emoji. Like if you send me a nice text message and you saw that I read it or I didn't read it, it doesn't matter. And I come into your mind again or into your heart again. Don't not act on it. That's just wrong. Act on it. Send someone a follow-up. Hey, I'm thinking about you. I love emoji like teacup, a little teacup emoji. I love that when people send that to me because it just means like, Gil, let's have some tea together. That's my thing, like let's have a tea together. I think it's just it's a sign of respect. It's a sign of love. It's a sign of I care. It's a sign of I'm thinking about you. It's a sign of you're in my mind. You're in my heart. Like it's such a powerful sign. And for some reason, humans do the opposite.
And do you think we need a bit of an acceptance there that, okay, some people might just misunderstand us and that's not on us, perhaps?
One, yeah, it can't please everyone. And we can't think that our way of doing things is everyone else's way. I also believe that if I'm following up with you because I want to add value or I want to collaborate, and even if I'm selling you something that I've understood that you really want, and I'm doing it in a very healthy, mindful, holistic way, strategic way, I think it's okay to follow up a few times. And sometimes even someone saying a no, it's not really a no, it's just not now. It's just not at that price, where it doesn't resonate with me. It's like not the way you did it, potentially not the way you delivered it to me. That's okay. Sometimes someone tried to get a message across to me and they got it wrong, but actually their colleague did it right. And that's the beauty of human networking. We're not meant to easily connect with every other human being. It's meant to be uncomfortable. It's meant to be an effort. We come from different cultures, different age groups, different sexes. Like what? There's so much reasons for us to not connect easily. There's so much that's not working for us, especially because of the programs and our cultures and our past experiences. If you put a group of babies together that don't have any of these programs in their heads, they'll sit next to each other. They'll network with each other. They'll connect with each other. I know I have 3 kids and I've studied kids networking quite a bit to understand what have schools taught us about networking. And I've asked, hundreds of parents this. I don't know one school that teaches kids how to make friends. There's a literal class. It's a class, not one time. It repeats. And there's like how to make friends, how to change friends, how to talk to friends, how to, the word induction from the corporate world. If there's a new student that comes to school, we should, as a class, have had a class before how to deal with that kid that comes in. There should be a class. Should be a class taught. It should be 1 hour once a semester. How to deal with new kids coming into my network. Friends, or my parents invited their friends over and their friends brought in their kid. I've never been taught how to deal with that. Like suddenly a kid showed up in my house. I don't know that kid. My parents don't know that kid. My parents know his parents. I've never been taught how to deal with that. That should be a class, because as adults, we're really bad at induction programs and bringing in a new person into our team, or bringing in someone. If we're standing in a circle talking and there's that one guy that's standing right and clearly he wants to come in. Most people don't know how to introduce people in and bring them in. And that's so important in business world. Today, I apply a lot of this knowledge to helping teams being built and helping communities flourish, and the kind of projects that reach out to me. Like I only look for projects that are like amazing and inspiring. Like clearly all of them need help, and the way the network is structured and the way the harmony is there.
Yeah, and I wonder if sometimes we can overthink this as well. Maybe sometimes I'm really fascinated by the idea of following our intuition, because sometimes I feel as though our intuition is to maybe include someone in the conversation a bit more, or perhaps it's to, bring them in or say something, but our ego sort of gets in the way, right? So I know you mentioned before as well, sometimes people might reach out the wrong way or to you or the right way to you. So at what point do you start overthinking it then? Let's say, for example, you really want to reach out to someone and do business with them, or maybe for some people listening, it's applying for a specific job role, right? At what point do you just think, send the fucking message? Because on the one hand, you want to craft a good email and it shows that you're thoughtful and you really want to make an effort there. But at the same time, sometimes I think there's resistance there and we just need to send a message. So how do you get that balance right?
So it's a really good question, because my answer was very different 3 years ago, because most human beings never used AI. And today I'm assuming that all of your listeners, you're using at least GPT or at least one AI, because there are 2,000 new AIs that come out every week now. In 2025, 2,000 new AIs on the App Store come out every week. So if you're not using at least one AI, what is wrong with you? Good luck. Get off this podcast and good luck with your life. But if you are using AIs, that's the first thing I would do. I would work with an AI to come up with the right approach for you. Tell AI, hey, AI knows who you are. Hey, I want to reach out to this guy, John. Here's John's LinkedIn information. You can give that to your AI. Or here's Melissa's website. Put it into your GPT and say, I want to reach out to them because I want to have a job with them in this position. How would you craft the best email for me? So that's something we were not able to do 3 years ago. People came to me as a coach and I would outline scripts for them and I would really help companies to put together a networking strategy to reach this person. Someone wanted to reach Richard Branson. And it took me 48 hours to get his team on a call, and it took 8 days to get him on a call. So that was okay, interesting. It wasn't that difficult to do. And I've done that hundreds of times with different people, based on, is there a really good value add from two sides? Because in the past, you were not able to ask AI. So someone would have to come up with a strategy and how they did it. And most people are using not just not good, they're using a very bad networking strategy. They just don't know it because no one has ever taught them better. So majority of people even in our communities, in the networks around you, majority of people, I'm not talking about ridiculously poor people with nothing, with no access to a computer. I'm talking about you. Yeah, and me and some of my friends. Majority of people, and a level of 1 to 10 in the world of networking, where would you think you are? In 1 to 10 in the world of networking?
I would say about 4.
Okay, interesting. 5. Yeah, so interesting. So it's a pretty humble answer. It's very, very good. Majority of people will say they're a 6, 7, or an 8. Majority of people will say that. Some people will give an answer I think I'm a 3 or 4 or 5 kind of. So most people will think that they're pretty good because they have friends and they know how to talk to people and, they have a job and they have a network. So they'll think that they're pretty good. Because I've been studying it for 15 years, really studying it. I've been studying now quantum networking entanglements and gone very, very deep into all of this. And I have systems in place and the systems always get improved. And I have networking angels working for me full time. And I work in entourages within events. And there's a lot in place. On my best day, when I'm best biohacking my body and I feel the best and we're the best weather and best event and best network and everything works, I'm a 6, maybe 6.5 out of 10. I know what a 7 is. I've met 8s. I've peaked to 8s in my life, but it's not, it's a different level that we don't have to get into right now of what that actually means on a level of, high conscience networking. Majority of people, 1, maybe 2 out of 10, maybe. I can't tell you what number you are. I don't know enough about you, but because I've spent quite a few minutes researching you and because of our interaction today, I can speak about your level of networking in 1 hour right now without knowing anything else about you, just by profiling you today, profiling you when we met. and spending a few minutes checking who you are on social media. Easily, I could speak about you in an hour on the breakdown of the complexities of networking and where you can peak and where is the potential of growth. And with most people, they just don't have it and they don't look for it. They don't look for that growth. We look to grow in money. Some people look to grow in health. Um, Not enough people are saying, well, actually, it's an understanding that the word networking has been given a very negative connotation in life. Like networking event doesn't feel right. It's very shallow, or exchanging business. Everybody wants to sell me something, but that's not networking. Networking is a very deep um, practice. To me, they are a set of spiritual practices for humans to connect. And it's not just humans, it's for us to connect as a human. If I want to feel connected to humans, to God, to the universe, to Bali, to nature, I need to study networking. We have today quantum computers because computers are very, very, very good at networking. That's why we have fast internet. That's why we have technology is innovating faster than humanity, because they're very good. If you Google networking, you don't see human networking. It's not high enough on Google, which is not okay. It's not okay that it's not high enough. Yeah, computers networking is high enough because look at the results. Look at AI. That is up. Hey, computers, good job, computers. You did a good job networking with each other. You gave us AI. That's not humans. It's not. We didn't come up with AI. It's not. I don't think that a human can say I did it. Computers networking so well together gave us AI solution, and then we were able to ask computers we prompted computers to give us better AI. That's all. We became better at communicating, and we became better as humans, some of us, with networking with AI. So some people are very tech savvy. You have some friends, I got some friends, they love computers. They're very good at talking, and some of them even know how to code. They talk computer language. Imagine you know how to code. Like, I studied HTML when I was younger. I understood how to speak to a computer. That is really epic. Wow. I have friends. I have one guy. He's really good at talking to animals. Like, oh my God, the guy talks to animals. Like, I see him talking to dogs and cats, and they respond to him, to me, in a surreal way. It's like, wow. I never saw him talk to fish or birds or anything, but like cats and dogs that we tend to have at home, he knows how to train a dog in an epic way. That is next level of networking. I know some people who are really amazing. They have green hens. Their gardens are always green. It's like they really know how to be a good gardener. Even though they're a business person, gardening for me is a hobby. I have green hens. I love it. I had to study and learn how to network with plants. But the minimum we should know how to do as humans is network with other humans, because that's the minimum. And that's where I like to be able to share with people these insights, these understandings, that the journey we go through in life is not alone. And if everything I believe we achieve in life is because of other people, I don't think we've achieved anything alone. I think people inspire us, people open doors for us, people point us in the right directions, people hold us by the hand and go with us. But I believe pretty much everything that we achieve, we do in life, whether it's good or bad, it's usually somehow connected to another human being.
Yeah, that's a great point, because I feel as though a lot of men, I think, certainly when they're starting out, they don't feel as though they can ask for help, number one. And two, their ego probably doesn't want to either. Whereas the reality is that it's quite the opposite, right? I think the way you sort of, for lack of a better term, I'd say level up or get more opportunities or create more opportunities for yourself is by asking for help, right? And I think a lot of the time we'd be surprised, actually, people who we might not think want help actually do. And I think that's a whole other sort of limiting belief I think a lot of guys had, and I've certainly had in the past as well, where I'm like, oh, I really want to, but no, I can't ask. I can't ask for help. Whereas the reality is, I think people want to help. People want to give back, right?
Um, so 100% yes, agree with you on that. But again, it's old programs. There are some cultures in the world that I lived amongst where asking for help is literally a sign of weakness. It's like, gotta think about that for a minute. Like, who taught us? Where did it come from? It's a program. It's like, someone once taught us that milk is good for us. Someone once taught us that eggs are a good source of protein. Someone taught us that. I've not had eggs for a decade. I've never liked milk since I was a kid. It's interesting. Like, who taught us these things? Like, you've heard of an apple a day keeps the doctor away. Um, who taught us these things? And who taught us that asking for help is a sign of weakness? Who taught us that screaming help when you're in danger, you scream help, hoping to get help. But if someone offers to help, like I like offering, like being a gentleman, I like offering a woman who's carrying 2 bags. Can I help you with a bag? No, it's okay. It's okay. Who taught her that? It's not just I'm trying to be a gentleman. I'm trying to be a human being. You have 2 bags. I have no bags. They look heavy. I'm happy to carry one. Who taught us to say no to humans? Like, that is, someone gave us these programs. I'm not blaming them because someone gave it to them. I don't agree with those programs anymore, and I'm not trying to fix them. I'm just trying to use other programs now. So that's why I wrote a book called The New Code of Networking, and now I've completely taken it out. I've asked to not sell out anymore because I've rethought a lot of my philosophies. In the book, I wrote about the power of like life is like a big funnel where a lot of people, strangers, come into our lives and somehow they can be converted into relationships and connections and friendships and partners. They can be converted to something. Like, that made me very curious. Like, wow, so many strangers can come in. Who can I keep and how can I stay in touch with people? That's like, wow, blew my mind. The reason I asked for that book to come out, and now I'm relaunching another book this year, is I don't think anymore, because I've gone super deep into quantum networking. It's not a funnel, it's a tunnel. It's a tunnel that has a lot of light at the end of the tunnel. So it's always good to walk towards the light. There's people. People for me is light. It's like inspiration comes from people. If you look back, you could see darkness, you could see sadness. You can always look back and see whatever you want, but light is coming ahead of me. And because it's a tunnel, it's also understanding that there's these kind of overlaps with people where you meet someone and then you might meet them again if you want to, or if they want to, or you might not. And suddenly you'll see that person again at an event. And suddenly you won't. And suddenly a year later, you'll see that person again. And it's like, and the connection is there. So that to me is not like, it's not random. It's not it's not by accident that people come in and out of our lives. So it's a science. So I studied it. I like it. There's a lot to it. I've learned how to hack it. I've learned how to manifest people in my life or in other people's lives. So I can ask a person that I work with, for example, a friend, like, who do you wish to manifest into your life in the nearest future and why? And based on the answer they give me, I can help them get the answer right. That person will be manifested within days, guaranteed, every time, already for decade. And it's not just because of me. I've learned how to help people just do it themselves because life is that easy. It's not about people saying, I want to manifest $1 million in my account. No. You can't do that. That's not going to happen. You can manifest meeting people or collaborating with people that already also have that sort of a goal. And together you can make millions and then $1 million will come into your account. Or you could start networking with people who know how to make millions of dollars on their accounts. And by networking with them, the law of attraction just works that way. You will also make it's so simple and clear to me now as a formula. And when people start to understand it, a lot of their passions come out and a lot of their life missions get clear. And suddenly we are connected to our destinies. And suddenly we believe in self-fulfilling prophecies. And suddenly Like, I know how much I could do while I'm in Bali, and I know how much I do when I go to Dubai, or I'm in London, or I'm in the US somewhere. Um, I like that I'm able to be quite grounded here, and I'm speaking for some people, this might be esoteric or a little too spiritual for them, but it's a very, very grounded work that is being used by some of the top corporations in the world bring me in today. I don't mention names, but if you look at my LinkedIn, you'll see. Um, I've worked with multiple governments to teach them how to, not just teach them, to actually write down manifestos and algorithms, how to network with other countries. And working with entrepreneurs is what I love the most. Entrepreneurs, speakers, coaches, people that have a message to give, want to value, they want to serve, showing them how a small adjustment in the path of networking creates exponential growth, creates exponential beauty. And if beauty and growth comes together, I call that magic.
Yeah, and you touched upon an important point there. A lot of the time, it will seem like something woo-woo or something out there, but yeah, it's definitely something that we can create ourselves, right? With the sort of quantum field, and it's an area I'm really fascinated by. This whole sort of manifestation thing, right? And I really do. It's interesting you mentioned that because, from my point of view, I'm not as experienced in the field, but for me, it just makes sense that when you're aligned with your purpose and you start knowing exactly what you want, then naturally you'll take the path that will lead you there. But are there any specifics regarding sort of that process that people could perhaps follow or get into if they're curious about it?
So there's definitely a lot of steps that people can make. First of all, find 3 mentors in your life. You don't have to talk to those mentors. Start following those 3 mentors, minimum of 5 minutes every single day for 100 days. A very, very easy way. People need mentors. If they think they could do things alone, they cannot. Like Tony Robbins was my mentor from the age of 18 when I first was introduced to him via an infomercial on the internet. It was like early days of the internet, because I'm 46 in a couple of weeks. So when I was 18, I was quite a few years ago. And so that's when I was first introduced to Tony. But then until the age of 33, he didn't know who I was. But I still saw him as a mentor. I wasn't listening to him every day at that stage. I didn't have the right algorithm, but I listened to his CDs at the time more than 100 times. Easily, I could say that. Way, way more than 100 times. Way more. And this is over many, many years. I watched a video for him on the internet, but I literally listened to his program. Then at the age of 33, I managed to meet him. And the age of 35, I was invited to his home. Yeah, and that was quite epic. At the age of 37, I was already one of the leading promoters of Tony Robbins in the world. And it took a while until I was able to build a relationship with him. So one thing I tell to people, find some mentors out there and start following them. Then you can have a process of let me follow them, let me hear them out. Like my philosophy is like find mentors, learn from them, try to add value to them. I always try to connect with them and then see if I can connect them with other people in my community. Like easiest way to bringing value to a mentor is sending more people their way or talking about them. So like I speak about my mentors regularly. And my mentors are not just Tony Robbins. I got a mentor, Dan. Most people don't know Dan. He's not active on the internet. He's an extremely wealthy person, but he's very mindful in how he thinks and spends money. It's like very, very, very like, wow, he blows my mind on how he thinks about money. And also I love how adventurous he is. He goes to the most extreme adventures in the world that for me is a little bit scary. And I like that about him. I don't need to like everything about Dan. He's not a perfect human being. He's a friend now, but he's also a mentor because there's 2 aspects of his life that I really, really love and respect. So it doesn't have to be a mentor that is like famous necessarily. So I tell people that to start, find 3 mentors and find a way to slowly build those relationships with them. And you could build a relationship with someone without them building a relationship with you. It could be one way. Number 2, I would say to have a very curious mindset so that you can see what potentially needs to be optimized or developed in your network. Like just ask yourself, hey, like networking is quite complex, so feel free to like learn about it a little bit, but like, how am I as a brand? As a brand, how do people understand who I am? Or like, how am I networking online or offline? That's interesting. Just think about it for a few minutes. Like you can make some notes for yourself. You can ask someone to audit you if you wish. You could think, how am I at networking when it comes to connecting with people the first time? How would I rank myself? And can I improve by 1%? How am I at disconnecting from someone? Do I know how to start a conversation with someone at an event and leave that conversation? It's interesting. If I don't, let me give this 10 minutes to learn how to do it and then practice it every day for 10 days. Like just leaving a conversation, because disconnecting is a huge topic. It's like leaving a country, leaving a friendship, leaving a boyfriend, a girlfriend, getting a separation, a divorce, a conscience uncoupling. I'm going through a conscience uncoupling after 15 years being together with a woman. It's very beautiful to uncouple without a horrible disconnection. There's so much love in the way we are connected still, but we have uncoupled as a husband and a wife. So people don't know how to disconnect. So the complexities of networking should come from a place of curiosity of people. And the third thing I tell people always is to explore who to reconnect with. Before going out there and looking for new connection, which is always nice to look for a new connection, start by auditing the past a little bit. I tell people easy way to audit the past: open up your WhatsApp or your main messenger and scroll down. Like just scroll down for like a little while. Scroll down 3 months, 6 months, even 1 year, and then stop. And slowly from that point of 6 months ago, come back into the present moment slowly. So you're slowly scrolling back up. And then ask yourself, stop every once in a while. It's like, why did I not reconnect with this person again? What happened? Like, I like this person. We had a really good time. Or like, that was a nice friendship. Or like, this is still a nice friend. Like, question, did you not like them? Did you choose to disconnect, which is cool? Sometimes I archive people that I wish to not have any more interaction with them. It's okay. Just I archive them. It's okay. If they really want to reconnect again, they will find a way. If someone really wants to reconnect with me again, they need to be persistent enough. If I don't feel like I want to, I'll archive them. I'm just not going to respond to them purposefully. But sometimes when you're going to go through this list, you might see some people and like, I didn't reconnect for this reason. I wasn't interested, or I didn't know how to reconnect, or I didn't know how to add value, or I was too preoccupied with my work, or they seemed very busy, or she was in a relationship and I really liked her, but maybe she's not in a relationship now. So much goes in our head, but the number one reason is time. The number one reason why people don't reconnect or follow up is because of time. And I've created over 100 different hacks and algorithms to help people understand that there's actually a lot of time every day. And it takes only 1 minute to follow up with a human being. And it's very easy to stay connected with different networks of human beings that could lead to greatness in your life. They could lead to partnerships. They could lead to collaborate. Or just, they're an epic human being that's going in the right direction, and you wish to interact with them again in the future. Sending them a 1-minute voice message is extremely powerful.
Yeah, so many lessons there. And I'm definitely guilty of that, because I remember I was actually clearing out my Instagram the other day because I thought, I'm following a lot of people here who I no longer perhaps resonate with, or they're not in my life. And I'm thinking, oh, wow, actually there's this person. We actually had a really good memory together. And yeah, I think that's a great point, I think. And we'll totally sort of take that on myself. I'm wary of the time, not sure how we're doing, but yeah, what we'll do, I think we've touched upon a lot here. Certainly, we can move into the closing traditions of the podcast, unless there's anything in particular that you think it's really important people know that we haven't touched upon already.
I think there's a lot that people need to know. I think the importance is to give a more serious attention to this topic. It's a topic that's been kind of hidden under tables, and some people study this for a living. Like politicians study it, successful business people study it. Most billionaires will tell you that in their top 10 books, networking and relation is a very important part of it. Most entrepreneurs don't study for a reason. They think they know it. So I tell people to just take this topic a lot more seriously now, especially as social medias are blowing up everywhere in our worlds. And also AI is AI can connect us, but AI actually will create a lot of further disconnection in the world, just because today it's very easy for someone to send you a voice message, but it's not them. It's very easy for someone to send you a video message and it's not them. So people need to now get into some networking routines, because very soon they'll be lost. They'll be left behind.
I wonder if it will come to a point where, because everyone's using AI, people will be able to see through it, and maybe just then people want to shift back to sort of authenticity, perhaps, or maybe that's where AI is heading in the first place.
I think that technology will help us identify whether that voice message came from me or from my AI. And because I'm really into technology, there's going to be two different ways. Number one, if I am holding the phone as I'm sending you a voice message, there will be an authentication by my actual my heart rate. My phone will know that it is me holding the phone, leaving you a voice message, and it will be able to leave a little emoji on my voice message with a heartbeat. So you'll actually see my heartbeat as I have left you the voice message. As an example, just one little example that's very easy to implement technologically. And the other one is technology can also hear the vibrations of our voices. So AI at this stage will not be able to have similar frequencies to a human voice. It's going to take us a while longer until we're able to match vibrations that come out from our souls and a sound that comes out from a computer. It might sound like me, but it doesn't have the vibrations that so technology will help us. We'll have to go through that journey. It's not going to be a beautiful journey. It's going to be a lot of unauthentic road, a lot of fake accounts, a lot of fake until we see what is real and what is fake. And that is 2025, 2026. We're going into that era right now. So that's why I tell people there's no better time to study networking.
Yeah. And you definitely given me a big insight into, okay, what we think networking is actually, it's a whole lot more, and there's different levels to it. So yeah, I'll definitely be checking out your books as well. We'll put those in the description. And is there anything else, anywhere else where people can find your resources and stuff?
I tell people that if they like something they hear from anyone that they listen to, they should spend at least 5 minutes to go and look at that person. Like I tell people this usually if you show up for an interview, you show up on a date, you show up for a meeting, you show up for anything. If you're going to show up and meet with someone for an hour, spend at least 5 or 10 minutes to network with them before the meeting. Even if I know that person a little bit, I'll still spend a few minutes before meeting them to quickly see what is most relevant in that person's life now, at this moment. And I remember, it's actually a really good story. When I met up with Richard Branson the first time, I knew I was going to meet him the day before. And I knew I would be walking into a room and there would be other people in the room. I knew that. So when I walked into the room, there was like 20, maybe 25 people in the room there. Some people sitting down in front of Richard, and some people standing kind of behind the room. And I kind of came in, towards the end, and I was standing up behind. And at one stage, I was able to move myself a little bit, and I had perfect kind of eye contact with Richard. If he would look my way, he would see me. I wasn't, because I'm a little bit tall as well. No one was in front of me, which is useful sometimes if you're listening to someone you respect. And I was listening for quite a few minutes, like 10 minutes or so. People are asking him such random questions that he answers every week. He answers them in all of his articles. He answers them in all of his speeches. But you're now not in an interview. You're sitting with Richard Branson in the room. Connect. Be useful to him. Don't just let him give you value. Give him value. So I think it was like with the 10-minute mark, I saw this like window of opportunity. And I like taking risks sometimes. And historically, I wasn't a risk taker. Now I very much am. And I said, Richard, thank you very much for those answers. But I'm curious, Richard, I've read recently that you were looking to launch, this was when I was living in Moscow, you were looking to launch London-Moscow Virgin Airline, the line. And I've read that you had some challenges. Maybe myself or someone in this room could be of help to you. Now, that question is so smartly structured, not only because I'm adding value to him, I'm telling him how relevantly updated I am with his needs. I'm telling him that I know what your problems are, not just solve my problems, Richard, but I'm also putting myself in the room with everyone together in one circle. It's we can help you, knowing that I didn't have connections with airlines, but I knew that that guy there is a billionaire, and those three guys there I also know, and I know some other people. I know you guys are very resourceful people. None of you are trying to connect with Richard. Like what? And suddenly you had these people looking at me like, clearly, Gil, you just asked a ideal question. He gave a really good answer, and I right away commented saying, Richard, this is amazing news. I'm sure that someone in this room, and I said, who in this room wants to help Richard Branson? Literally, I'm taking over the room. And this is a little chit chat before he gets on stage. This is not, literally, I'm asking people to raise their hands in a room, in a small room. This is like what's called the green room. Before a speaker goes on stage, we're meeting in his room. And you saw most of the room raising their hands saying, yeah, we want to help Richard Branson with the solution. And I was like, yes, Richard, great. We have them. Just to let you know, whenever you do this, I would like to be able to commit to fill up your first plane, maybe even two. Because my business is taking a lot of really wonderful people, just like everyone in this room, to Tony Robbins events in London. I know he's your friend. Now that was, my question was in like 30 seconds or even less. What I just said was also 30 seconds or less. So out of that whole time with everyone in the room, I took less than a minute in total. But that ended up becoming so important because at the end, he gave me his business card. He gave me a selfie with him. It was a very useful interaction where I added huge value. So for those of you who are listening, if you're finding value in any of the podcasts that you do, research the people, don't just follow them. Interact with the people, don't just click connect. I'm not looking for followers. I'm not looking for people to just connect. I'm looking for relationships, so people to engage me. So one, say thank you to him for bringing me on board. Number two, write me something and say something that you took away from today. So that it would give me an acknowledgement that I was able to add value to you. And then see if you can follow it up. So I'm the only Gil Petersil on Google. If you cannot find me, it's not because of me, it's because you haven't given yourself respect to connect with someone, to really connect, and to not be thinking, oh, he's not interested in me. Oh, he's not going to answer me. Oh, he's going to be an assistant answering. Why don't you challenge that? Why don't you send multiple messages? Why don't you send a voice message? Why don't you make an effort to interact with me and see what happens? Be surprised. Allow magic to show up in your life.
Yeah, I love that. And that's super important. I felt we've got so many blockages there. All of this is because of blockages, right? And again, it's that if it's uncomfortable, then that's good. I think that's a sign that we should be doing it.
Yes.
Absolutely love the message. 3 very quick questions to finish off as per the tradition. First one is quite lighthearted. It's a song suggestion for the audience.
A song, like my favorite song kind of thing. So I'm not big in music myself. There is I don't even remember a lot of singers. I listen to songs these days because of my kids. It's not really a song. I would say it's more of high vibe music. So I have music playing a lot in my life. 90% of that music has no words. It's specific beats. So during the day, I will listen to handpan music quite a bit. It helps me. And during the evenings in the other room, I will always have music on, even when I'm sleeping. in this, you can just go on YouTube and type like sleeping music or sleeping music for health. You can literally heal your body, allow yourself to sleep deeper, wake up very alert, have good dreams by what you play. So that's what I suggest to people.
I'll definitely be giving that a try. Yeah, certainly. Okay. The second one is a book recommendation.
Again, I've mentioned Tony Robbins. I've worked with him. I've worked with Eckhart Tolle a lot. The Power of Now. Eckhart. I went on vacation with Eckhart Tolle, me, his family, and my family for a few days. It's crazy surreal. So I recommend his books. Geshe Michael Roach wrote the book Karmic Management. I've spent a lot of time with him as well. He speaks about karma in a very, very clear, logical, you can execute it very easily way. So I love them very. And any of the books with Jay Abraham. He's one of my favorite people on earth. Yeah.
Wicked. Yeah, I'll be checking out all those. Eckhart Tolle's. Yeah, I think Power of Now is kind of a must read for everybody for sure. And yeah, the third one is a question asked by one of the Growth Voyage listeners. So we asked them for a question for the guest. I don't know who the guest is, but this one came from Tom Holhouse, and he asked, what would the conversation be like between yourself now and your 8-year-old self? Would you be proud of the person that you've become?
100% yes. I would tell the 80-year-old a few things. First of all, make more friends, explore networking early on. Don't be afraid of strangers, which our parents teach us. I would tell myself that, to trust your gut feeling fully, to study human design and such aspects of life early on to understand more about how we are. I would give myself the date of when to buy Bitcoin and other ones. I like crypto. So I would tell, hey, buy these stocks, like leave you a little note. Buy these stocks and these dates, and then you won't need to ever be concerned about money again. That's a fun thing to do. But yeah, no, my journey since 80-year-old, it's 38 years. So it's a long time. I'm definitely proud of what I've done. I've achieved quite a bit, and I'm still very young.
Yeah, it's a constant growth voyage, hence the name of the show. Yeah, it's been awesome catch up with your story, but also so many gems in there. So no doubt the listeners are going to gain a lot of value. So yeah, thank you so much, Gil. Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys. Thank you.
Okay.